Well, three of my favorite radio talk show hosts join me now in our D.C. Bureau. Wilmer Leon of XM Radio. Good to have you with us, Wilmer. Chris Palin, WMAL, Washington, D.C. And here in New York studios, John Gambling, WOR. John,
good to see you again, Luke.
Great to see you. Let me start. What are your listeners saying about this defeat of the bailout?
All right, about 50-50.
Really?
Half think it's the perfect thing to have happened, and the other half say, hey, there's got to be a bailout. And as I listen to this, and I've talked about it for the last couple of weeks, like all of us here, I'm not sure I know any more today than I knew 2 weeks ago. But one thing I do hear, with the various options available and being suggested, that a bailout of some sort needs to be done. There seems to be some consensus there.
Okay. How about you, Chris? Your thoughts?
I'm hearing a great deal of anger, mostly from people, and contempt of Congress, which is probably appropriate in this circumstance. I think people feel like we're being lied to, like we're being misled, like the people that are responsible for it are the people that are promising the cure, like there are political agendas behind everything. The Democrats are trying to socialize another segment of the economy, and people are very, very angry.
Wilmer, your thoughts?
Well, my listeners basically see this as democracy in action. The fact that the congressional representatives actually listened to their constituents and voted against this.
Hallelujah.
Exactly. A lot of people are really not seeing this as a bailout, but seeing it as a scam. Henry Paulson wants $700 billion and no oversight. That violates one of the fundamental principles of our Constitution, which is checks and balances. Yeah. It makes no sense.
Well, Newsweek had a cover of Henry Paulson. They called him King Henry, and indeed they're right. Thank goodness they brought him back to earth. We also heard here tonight on this broadcast Marcy Kaptur, Congresswoman from Ohio, Congressman DeFazio.
Very interesting.
No bailout the No Bailout Act, in which they would follow a straightforward path that does not involve taxpayer money to solve it. I got to tell you, it worked in Sweden, it worked in Finland, it worked in this country. Why aren't these fools in Washington, D.C. doing that?
Because it's not big enough.
Yeah.
You even mentioned that in your interview. It's not big enough, but it makes a lot of sense. And I thought that the two Congress people made a lot of sense saying, hey, let's give it a shot. See what happens. We've got nothing to lose.
And it wouldn't cost a lot.
Exactly.
It's got that much going for it. Chris, let me ask you something. Governor Sarah Palin, everybody wants her to get out of the ticket because she keeps making these foibles. By our count, she's made far fewer than Joe Biden and far less serious gaffes.
Boy, is
blunders.
that a fact. I think this is just one of the most brutal beatings I've seen in my more than 2 decades in Washington. I think it's completely unfair if you do stack them up against Joe Biden's gaffes, and it's polite to call them gaffes. If Sarah Palin had said that FDR was president in 1929 and he went on television to address the nation, she'd be fishing by a small lake by now.
Yeah, and she'd be all over the New York Times front page.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous. So much of what Sarah Palin is saying is showing, as Fareed Zakaria said, she has no clue. It's not that she doesn't know the answer, it's that she doesn't really understand the question. She has foreign policy experience because she can see Russia from her backyard. I can see the moon from my backyard. That doesn't make me an astronaut.
Well, that's
ridiculous.
Now, wait a minute. Stop.
I'll take her.
Wilmer has just come up with a great line, and I think I'm going to applaud. I like that.
It is a good line. Thursday night will tell. Look, Thursday night is make or break for Sarah Palin. Everybody's going to make popcorn and going to be looking forward to this. I know that I am.
Oh, she'll do well.
And it is a big night for her. And she is, to some extent or another, unproven, but she has also received the most extraordinary hatchet job that I have ever seen in Washington.
She'll do well,
great, but response too. 60,000 people in Florida. I mean, nobody's done that in a long, long time.
By the way, and there's one thing too. This business about the not having a passport. She may be on the right side of this. Only 1 out of 4 Americans have a passport, so that may work in her.
I am. That's terrible.
I'm sorry.
She's less well traveled than I am. That's terrible. And
it's okay. It's okay to be just a plain old American, just a regular fella.
And I think Americans are saying that and showing that.
And you know what? I kind of embrace that myself because being an independent populist, you guys are going to have to explain your ideologies and all their partisanship. John, great to have you with us.
Great to have us. Having said that, the cringe factor with Sarah is pretty high.
Why did I let him do that? Chris Palin, good to have me here. Wilmer Leon, thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
John Gambling, thanks for letting me finish.